Hey tubes, it's something we picked up at that farm auction, and a lot of you have been asking about the last couple of days. And this is a lawn tractor. I didn't actually buy it. It's my nephew. Some of you are familiar with him, Lil Racer. He just bought a house and he needs to buy all that kind of stuff for it. But got himself it's an Onan, a 20-horse Onan, and it's an old Craftsman, so it's made out of good metal and stuff. And it's in pretty good shape. It's got big wheels in the back. And they got good tread, but I'm not going to give you a walk around this because I think little dirt bike 5100 will. But it does have a good battery and stuff, and Lil Racer got it running real good. But anyway, one of the problems it does have was it has a deck on it. It says 44-inch there, but it actually has a 50-inch deck on there, and it has an electric lift on it. And the lift on it was all froze up, wouldn't work. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to show you that. Let me show you his deck while we're here, right? It's 50-inch deck, 3 blades on the bottom of that. 50-inch here. If I can turn my camera around for you, huh? Here we go. Alright, but here's the real problem. This is what the video is about here. This is the electric lift. Has this motor. Where are we at here? This little motor. Here's a little armature. And the motor and the gears here actually spin like a screw. It's like a screw lift, and you just lift the deck up and down with that. But anyway, Lil Racer, he took it apart, and this armature was so dirty and corroded and everything. Everything was just locked up, and the brushes. But he cleaned all that, and he actually did a pretty good job. Here's the cap. It's got some grease in there. That's all hard grease. I'm gonna have to clean that up for him. But I'm gonna put this back together for him. I don't think he'll mind too much because it's not a project that he actually wanted to do. It was just a project he had to do. So I'll put this together for him. And I thought it'd make a good video, just show you guys what happens. You might save yourself maybe $100, $150 on that lift if you had it. It's kind of a ridiculous option. I mean, I don't even lift the deck on my mower, but I think it's kind of a waste of money, but we got to get this working so he has an operating deck. And yeah, he's seen how dirty and cruddy it was and locked up, and he thought that was a problem. But then I looked at it a little closer because he looked at it, and I realized in here his magnets were loose. I said, "You got a bigger problem there, buddy." So he cleaned the inside of that up, and he glued the magnets back in there where he thought they were supposed to be. And he actually came pretty close. I'll show you later what I mean by pretty close, but close enough for it to, I think, work. Let me see if I can find the glue. Alrighty, here's what I use for the glue. This PL products, they're real good. I use that for a lot of stuff. But this is the heavy duty. This isn't the tube I used. I think Little Dirt Bike's dad might have stole my other one there. I think it was actually a grade higher. Real super heavy duty. But anyway, it's good stuff. You got to glue something. This is the stuff to use. Alrighty. Alright, I got you set up overhead here. First thing I want to do is we want to put these brushes back in. But before we do that, I want to stick just a little dollop of this grease here. It's a synthetic Mobil 1 grease. Not much, because it's sort of like a little bearing in there or whatever, I guess you call it, but without getting grease on anything else, just put a little bit in there. I'll try and keep you in view here. Just a little bit in view. And what we're going to do is we got to put these springs in, and then the brushes go in behind it. I'll just show you here. And they just go in this little slot. It's funny, this stuff always works better when it's not on camera. There you go, it goes in that slot. What I'm going to do, since I'm running solo today, is I'm just going to get a piece of wire and tie it back so it keeps them brushes in. And then we can put the armature in. Okay, let me put a piece of wire on there. Okay, I have this one brush here tied up out of the way, and now you can tie both of them if you want, but you don't really have to. And hold that out of the way with a little piece of wire. And we're just going to stick the armature in here. This one brush slipped out of my finger there. This is where it comes in handy to have two people. And then it just goes in there. And then you can take the wire out of the way. And that brush is good. And your brushes, you can hear them, they're hitting. Okay. Now what we want to do is, oh, here's what I wanted to tell you before. When Lil Racer, let me zoom in here a little bit. I'll try and show you. Okay, a little more. But when Lil Racer put these magnets in, he glued these magnets back in, he wasn't aware there's like a little tab right here. And that tab is the center of your screw. You got one on each side. And that lines everything up. And he's lucky he just put that in enough for that bolt to slip in there. If not, I guess we could have just ground that tab off and put it anywhere we want, but that bolt will go right alongside there now, and it should work okay. Okay, so there is a top and a bottom to this because these maybe let me back out. Sorry guys. Because these magnets center themselves over the whatever that's called there. Let's just call it an armature because I'm not a electrical motor repair guy. So when you stick it in there, it'll go in from this side that way because the magnets are right about here. Okay, let's hope this don't pop out because the magnets are holding it there. Oh, there we go. Jumped right in. Okay. Okay, you know what I want to do before I close this up? I want to seal that with some silicone. So let me get that because that's why this went bad. You know, the silicone or the gasket here, they're not the best. They're just paper. So I think I'm going to put a little silicone in there. All right, I put silicone on the back end here. Let me get that out of your way. Let me stick the screws in here. Everything looks a little awkward because I got a magnet in there. Every time you put something in there, it pulls it, so it looks a little awkward. Okay, now I got these. They must just be washers or spacers or something. We'll put these back on there because that's what came out with them. Here's the housing. I put some a little rim of silicone on there. So now let's try and line it up. Here's that little titty. You want to line that up with the other titty there, or the slot, and that'll line us all up. So let's try and get the screw in there. Okay, I think I got it. No, let me put my glasses on, that might help. It's tough to keep you in view here, fellas. Like I say, the magnet keeps pulling everything out of the way, so it's making it a little tough. We'll get it though. I think I just got it. Okay. Let me just tighten this up here and pull everything together. Okay. Let me shut this down here for a second. Make sure everything's lined up. Alright, I got these screws all lined up now. I just got to tighten it up. Make sure those two little titties are in line, and I'll pull all this together. This is these are held on with a Torx T20. Okay. All right. Now let me wipe some of this gasket seal or gasket maker, whatever they call it, off here, because it's just slopping up the works here. What I want to do before I go any further is put some juice to this and see, give it a bench test. We call it bench testing. Make sure it works before we finish putting it together. Next, we're going to take all this hard grease out and put some clean stuff in there. But let's take it out to the tractor here, since that battery's good, and we'll give it a bench test. Alright, instead of taking it out to the tractor, I would have had to disconnect the camera and everything. I had this jet ski battery laying up on the shelf, so let's just connect these terminals here. It doesn't matter which is which, because it just makes it go up or down, so don't matter which one you hook to what. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it does it. You can't hook one end of the terminal to the other, so let's just take a red one here and a black one, and then hook one up here. Let's see, hit the other one. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a screw gear. We're going out. And then to make it go in, you just reverse the polarity here. Whoop, okay. Alright, so everything's cool there. The motor works. Now we can grease it up. Well, that's a powerful little motor. A little torque on that. Okay. So now we send it back in there and we'll grease it up for you. I'm surprised that worked, because I'm telling you, I couldn't believe how corroded that was. But yeah, I give it to Lil Racer. He cleaned that up pretty nice. All right, let me get some grease. All right, I cleaned this up pretty good. I mean, the grease was hard, but it wasn't real bad, you know. Cleaned up pretty good. Cleaned the top up. Now I'm just going to take this synthetic grease and you know, just load it all up here, you know, all around. I mean, we're going to put plenty of grease on all the gears. You got a spacer right here, so what you do is put a little grease on that stuff and it holds it in place, you know, so you don't lose it. And then on the top half here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a spring in there, you know. It almost came out just then. You know, you glob grease on that and it holds all this stuff in place for you while you're playing, see? That way you could just take the top on and you know, line everything up. This has a good gasket. I'm going to reuse it. It's rubbery and still has a lot of life to it, so I'm going to screw this all together and we'll give it a look at it when it's done. Alright, we got it greased up pretty good, both sides here. I'm going to screw it together now. Alright, I don't, you know, too much grease is no good too, because when it starts to harden up, it'll just harden up that much sooner. But this will be okay. He's going to use it in the summertime anyway. Alright, there you go, tubes, all back together. Out. In. Like I said, I wish I had gotten there sooner, but Lil Racer had already torn it apart and started cleaning it, so hopefully this might help somebody out. I don't know what something like that goes for. It's got a part number. Just out of curiosity, I think I'm going to check it out. Let me see. Let me put my glasses on here and see what that number is. 782-3121. It's probably a Briggs number. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Alright, thanks for watching.